Hello and welcome to the Solo Shadow Cup, and I guess without further ado, let's jump in right into the video. So game 1 of spawns actually went pretty well. I got a top of Wonky Land uncontested and got pretty decent AR right away. Used a Wonky wheel to rotate into the circle. Unfortunately, the only movement I had was the Sonic shoes, and this was before they got buffed, so, with the smaller hitbox and everything. So yeah, that went well. 30 points wasn't extremely awful. We were like top 8,000-ish. For game 2, I actually got a really bad drop for the top, and I knew that if I did a 50-50, I probably would lose. So I had to go like a little bit like weirdly off to the side here, which actually had decent loot. Don't worry, I almost got my revenge. Because when he tried to go to the bush here, it did so much damage. Unfortunately, I just couldn't finish the job. And again, I only had Sonic shoes because in this cup there was actually no shockwaves in the vending machines, and there was another guy. I had barely in the mat, so I didn't want to risk it. Actually, rotating with it wasn't that bad at all. I didn't really knew how it worked though, and that cost me a little bit of health, but not as bad as before. When it was a time to rotate again, only one person died by the way. This rotate was a lot more smooth. I didn't find any type of refresh, so I had to use the Sonic again. Also, I had Storm Sickness, so I couldn't really go in Storm to do like a different play. I tried to do like the little like Sonic homing attack from the video games, but it didn't go well. Luckily, I didn't get beamed, which was nice. I walked in on the other rotate, which also was not that bad. The last rotate though, yeah, that was a little bit more rough. I didn't know that you get yeeted up so far. And then the stairs and the fight was just, yeah, it was pretty bad. After an alright each game, we were top 1300 with 65 points. Not bad, but not good. Unfortunately, in game 3, I got beaten to my drop again. I had to go for the bottom, which is not that bad. It had a bunch of stuff in it. Also got a supply drop, and I have to edit the points in like on the side next to the points because it was bugged, which is actually pulled zone for the first time, and again by the way, which was nice. We pulled zone twice. That was pretty lucky. And then I just got miniguns and focused by the entire lobby. I don't know why. I tried to survive, but I mean it was pretty much impossible. I had 12 kills too. After a pretty good game, I was coming back on 101 points. For game 4, I was beaten to my drop again because I was watching EWC. So. But I did get a purple pump from a legendary chest, so it turned out alright. I wanted to get a little bit more aggressive, get more Elim points. That didn't turn out that well. So, unfortunately, I did get pretty good damage, was gonna kill him. There was another guy in the storm. Mind you, I rotated from there. So I don't know when did that happen, but I guess he was just following me the entire time. It turned out alright. Little did I know though, it was pretty much temporary. Since when I was rotating, not only I got shot, I didn't get my shields cracked, but the guy did decide to still follow me on the edge of the zone where we need to rotate. And this was a little bit of an awkward place to fight. It just got stuck there, and yeah, that was pretty much a GG's from there. Ended up on 122 points. For game 5, I finally got my drop back to the top of the Wonky Tower, and not only that, I got an AR off spawn. And let's say I got a little bit of revenge. And hey, 2 free points. was watching EWC, and luckily this guy was extremely loud, so I did hear him. And as you can see by my points, I wanted the Elim points, I needed them. But it seems like everybody else also needed the Elim points. So I had to go away and pop a big pot instead. I wasn't gone for very long though. May or not wanted a little bit more revenge, because that was supposed to be my kill. And I did have a gold pistol. So I thought the best thing we'll do is just absolutely focus everything out of this guy. And I did secure the Elim points. The other fella though wanted to fight me as well, not just that guy. I guess he didn't like me getting the elimination instead of him, even though he didn't really do any damage to the other player. Good thing I had so many shockwaves, so he was quite persistent. He wanted to fight me regardless of the fact. Scouts tried to grief me, he hit me once and just stopped for some reason, I don't know why. Watching this back, I'm not sure why I thought it was going to be a great idea to go in the bush in the end game in solos. Like, there's gonna be a person. I did fight off the guy though. I fought quite well. There was one problem though. Everyone around me heard I lost all of my shields, and when that happens, the whole end game, that pretty much happens. Though we were actually doing funny amount of numbers, funny placement on 6,767th. For game 6, I got the Tower of Wonky to myself. There was somebody hiding next to a rock though. Good thing, he kind of chickened out a little bit later. And that let me do a lot of damage with the Green Scar. And after that much damage, that was pretty much the end of him. I'll take the 3 points. Movement was problematic since there was, before the update, this was the solo Shadow Cup was before the update, of them bringing back the shockwaves into vending machines. So I didn't find any and had to took quite a bit of damage with the Sonic shoes. There was somebody hiding in a house, which I did not expect somebody would do, because usually someone hides in the roof. I did do counter damage, and that let me live a little bit. Like, it was really close. I did manage to get out. Funny story though. There was no one behind me, right? No. There was a person behind me, turns out. I did do a lot of damage, I did 90. And I went for a pump again. I did shoot for a big damage shot, but it was just not enough to eliminate him. After game 6, we were kind of coming back into the tournament, being top 5,000. For game 7, I did get the tower in the Wonky once again. And I did get purple scar, by the way, which was quite neat. I was trying out like solo strats before, but then in this game I figured we actually got a chance for a skin. I should go for some Elim points. And I did try to do just that. And I'm not sure why that guy actually tried to bloom fight me for that long. But hey, you're about to see one of the worst plays you could ever make. Yeah, that cost me a lot of health. Good thing this guy wasn't playing that aggressively, because if he was, and he actually put down pressure, this might have been a much shorter video. I did an emo to annoy them, and so they would like push me, and I could get a huge shotgun shot on them and do a lot of damage. Which worked way better than I could have expected. Not only he got aggressive, but also did a really dumb play that allowed me to eliminate him. Very quickly afterwards I did get a key, that's why I started building. I had a shockwave. I did trade damage quite well. I could have maybe played a little bit more aggressive. That was focused on those placement points instead. So I popped all my heals. I was gonna go a little bit more aggressive. But he was playing very safe, and I figured that probably the best strat would be just to shockwave out and leave. Later in the endgame, I thought that would be an absolutely amazing idea to go down the mountain and rotate. Unfortunately, somebody else had the same idea. You can see me panicking there a little bit, but that didn't stop me from doing absolutely a lot of damage, and I did try to piece him up and eliminate him. But couldn't do that anymore. He was too fast. He didn't really want to fight me afterwards, but I kind of wanted to fight him, since I got annoyed that he griefed me and I had to waste quite a bit of materials. Did a lot of damage again. You would think I was gonna heal him, but no, there was someone else focusing me instead of the guy that just got hit for 140 and then for 60. Yeah, well, I guess he just probably didn't like my skin. I tried to pull off the same strategy again. I'm trying to hit for a lot of damage to make him stop, and then try and beat him in a regular old box fight. This guy was too fast though. I couldn't really do that. After game 7, we were actually not looking that bad. We were on top 4,000 with 215 points. Game 8, I had to take the split this time, which wasn't that bad. Not only got a green AR, green pump and shockwaves, and not only that, a purple pump out of a legendary chest. So I guess that split wasn't that bad. I had to rotate a little bit in Storm throughout the endgame, which was pretty smooth. There was the guy behind me, blocked them off, and rotated in quite smoothly. I had to take a break to pop a medkit. When it was time to rotate, I did build up a little bit and shockwaved, and I did take a little bit of damage. Wasn't that bad though. But I had to use my last shockwave on this rotate here, although it was pretty smooth. I should probably got shot there, but hey, I'll take it. Rotating again, had no movement whatsoever. Literally nothing at all. So I thought the best strat would be is just to follow the guy in front of me, which worked for quite a long time before someone else was doing the exact same to me, and they actually went to fight in Storm, and they did die for it. I had one medkit left, and I had to pop it with pretty much no heals whatsoever, no mats whatsoever. I knew I needed a refresh, so I did try and get it. Did eliminate the guy, but just couldn't get the mats and ended up dying for top 12, which was not bad. And after this game, we were chilling top 2000 on 256 points. For game 9, I did take the 50-50 for the top of the Wonky Tower. I thought this was going to be a great idea at first. I'll tell you why it wasn't in a second. I heard the teleporter sound and I thought that he is away. Turns out, it wasn't. I got hit for a lot of damage, did manage to heal up and eventually get away. Although I guess it wasn't for too long, because I didn't even get the chance to get any materials and he straight away killed me. When he had more health, more materials, there's nothing you can really do about that. And after that game, I dropped all the way to 3.8k and didn't get a single point. Game 10, I had to take the split, because I messed up the drop a little bit. But it wasn't such a bad game, because not only that, I got a good spot in the end game. The only bad thing was that I didn't get any shockwaves and I had to use Sonic Shoes for movement. which wasn't actually that bad. I had to take a little short break to get a little bit more materials. Later in the end game, actually it was pretty smooth. Can't really say anything about that. And here's where everything is about to go wrong. After a smooth rotate, something does have to happen. And when the hitbox was just so huge before the buff, and it's not really buffed now, it's like it's smaller hitbox, but I would have died there regardless. And after that game, we were 3.3k with 277 points. Game 11, last game, I actually changed the skin. I went for the top of the Wonky Tower. And I knew I needed a big game, so I kind of tried to sneak up, get some shots, get some eliminations. There was, before the nerf now it's nerfed, but at the time of the cup, it actually was like a gold fishing spot, guaranteed. Now it's not, that's why I didn't key him right away. He did key me later in Storm though, which may or not have been the greatest idea for him, not for me. Because when I had 3 medkits, I could just assume he didn't have that much heals. He tried to get away. And when you trying to get away from me shooting from a high ground at you, it's not that easy to do. I did get that free elimination. Alright, since this is the last game, I thought I would show y'all how I actually rotated from Wonky. Yeah, most of the games were just this and then going on the zip lines and making game with like Sonic or Shockwaves. This was a pretty good major, like kind of rotation, mid-zone rotation. I found a rift. I didn't know about that yet because the whole map was kind of fresh still, which landed me in quite a decent spot to make still a nice little box there. That was pretty much comfortable, and I would say quite a good spot. I did need to rotate in though, because that wasn't really perfect, and I got shot at for no reason. I don't know why he did that. They trade a little bit, but it just took too long, so I cut it out. Yeah, I don't know what this guy beef with me was, but I had to go in zone, use Sonic shoes, just to get away, and when the hitbox was just so huge, almost died actually, which was extremely scary. Did manage to kind of get in zone and be alright. I did have a Chug, so that helped a lot. It was a max pull zone. And with Sonic shoes, yeah, that didn't look good. And I didn't really know like any strats with it yet, so I did get focused. You shouldn't really jump with it, you should just go on the bottom. Now it's faster actually than it was in this cup. So probably would have been better. I did try to get a refresh because I did need it. Yeah, Shockwaves would have been way better. Got away, not for long though, because I guess that was the lobby's favorite bush. Because I shot it to check if there was anyone there from the other game, which was the mistake when I pretty much died all the health. And I guess you could say I died almost the exact same way here. Tried to get a refresh and just couldn't, and that was the end of the cup. Sadly, we didn't really have any good endgames, pretty much. We were making endgames every single game, but it's like in the endgame itself, either something like that happened, or it was just pure luck. Well, hey, 307 points are not that bad, and I think if I fix my endgames, I would definitely do way better. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.